Happy Sunday, Tour.
Happy Sunday, Consuela.
I'm so excited about today. Do you know why?
Why?
Because we're at the PlayXpo finally.
What?
We're at the PlayXpo and we're doing an interview.
All right.
Are you ready to introduce our panel today?
Yeah, well, actually, let's have the panel introduce themselves. We'll go around. So we have Captain right here to my left. Would you introduce yourself? Tell a little bit about the brand you're representing and what all you create. Kind of just keep it high level and brief.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. I Captain from Blacknest, and I make just a bit of eclectic minimalism. I try to create things that, I try to create worlds, I try to create stories, and most of all, I try to create a home for everybody in Second Life.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Continuing on, Poe.
Hi. I am Poe. I'm the owner of. Sorry, I was distracted. Okay, I'm the owner of Octubre. Basically, I create whatever I feel like it. I don't have a specific. My store doesn't have an order or anything. It's I feel like reading this. Let's do it. I guess my goal is to bring magic to Second Life with different proposals, with interactive items, decoration. Yeah, basically whatever I feel like reading in that moment.
Fantastic.
We got world creators, magic creators. Let's move on down the couch to Minx.
Hi, I'm Minx. I'm the owner, sole creator for what was formerly Alani, but now we've transitioned over into XG. What was primarily a soft, delicate style has kind of progressed as I've progressed, and we're kind of leading into a more open style that may be a little bit more street style, but also still trying to maintain that delicate feel.
Fantastic.
And just to real quick touch on when you say delicate or soft style of what, furniture, makeup, what have you?
Oh, my apologies. So right now we're gearing towards accessories and apparel.
Okay.
Previously it was a lot of cosmetic stuff, but as I'm learning more things, we're starting to throw in a lot more things into the mix.
Fantastic.
Awesome. All right. Krios, you're up.
Hey guys, I'm Krios. I'm one half of Krescendo. The other half is my partner in crime, Kestrel. And together, our goal is honestly to create some quirky furniture, unique decor, accessories, and bring that fun spark to Second Life. We're always looking for fun stuff to create.
Wonderful.
Nice. Yeah. And finally, our former neighbor, Latte.
Former neighbor, you'll have to touch on that.
Oh my gosh, yes, we used to be in the same sim for a long time. Hi, my name is Late Billing, or as my SL government name is now, Latthew. I am the co-owner of Junk Food, and I make.
Is it Late? I always thought it was Latte.
You can call me Late, you can call me Latte, as long as you call me, okay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, but I make all kinds of crazy snacks, food, accessories to kind of spice up your life as SL's premier lunch lady. So
I love that.
Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, everybody's made their introductions. Are we ready to dive into some questions?
I'd say so.
All right. Take it away,
Let's go.
Tour.
So one of the things that Consuelo and I are always curious about as we're exploring actually is we know that a lot of thought goes into branding and brand names, and a lot of times there's kind of a ton of unspoken questions as to the decisions that go into that. So let's make them not unspoken anymore. I actually want to start out with Minx because you are in the process of a rebrand right now, and so these are going to be thoughts that are very fresh in your mind. So if you wouldn't mind, briefly touching on what went into the name Alani, but then, your transition, what the new name represents and whatnot.
So originally, Alani was my actual second life name.
Okay.
And so that's what I was feeling at the time. I was younger then, and I'm older now, and over time I've just realized that my own personal style and preferences have kind of expanded. And so with that like little journey that I've been on and wanting to rebrand, XG kind of was born out of the mix. And it's just something that can basically be resonated with anybody. It doesn't really have a particular meaning. It's
Okay.
just, it is what you want it to be.
Okay. Just kind of open to the interpretation of the audience, so to speak.
Yeah.
What about Krescendo? That's a very bold name.
Yeah, it is actually. We started with a different name 9 some years ago. We were Ascend, which basically reflects the idea of rising or growing. But after some rethinking and given that I do have a musical background, we decided to keep the same vibe of growing, but we changed it to Krescendo.
With musical, yeah.
Which, so we changed it to the Krescendo, which, as some of you might know, is that the gradual build up towards a climax, towards the final. Also in Portuguese, crescendo with a C means literally to grow up, to grow, and I think that perfectly captured what we wanted for our brand. So that's the main reason why. Also, fun detail on the logo, since we're talking about branding, the name Krescendo, it grows from the bottom to the top, so kind of a silly.
Oh yeah.
Now that you mention it, yeah. Very cool. You mentioned you played music. You're in what do you play?
I did play for a very long time. I played a guitar and I also sang. So
Nice.
I was a musician. I did have regular gigs and I did play for a very long since I was 18 till 30 something. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to turn the interrogation to Poe. Octubre.
Oh no.
Interrogation.
Oh, no.
Why'd you have to use that word
Why?
with her?
Yeah, why me?
She has limited social battery.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
like-
picking on you, Poe.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's make her go nervous.
Uh-huh.
Well, as everything in my brand, I don't really this will sound terrible. I don't do a proper thinking or process towards, okay, I want this or I want that other thing. So when I started my brand in Second Life, I was like, what is the best thing that can happen with this thing? It's like I had zero expectations. I had zero plans. I had nothing but an idea of what I wanted to do. And I remember seeing a lot of things and being like, oh, I wish this was in Second Life, and having like struggles to find it. So I was like, let's just start doing this and see how it goes. The idea went out of control and it became for a while my main source of income. So it got to a point where I was like, okay, maybe it's time to take my hobby a little bit more serious and make it be a little bit more professional. So I rebranded to Octubre, which is basically the month I was born in. And it's also really important to me because my two brothers was born in the same month as me. So it's basically the month where two of the most important people in my life was born. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be the name of my brand. Also, they are like the magic in my life. So to me, it made sense that if I'm going to be selling magical items or items that I want people to look at them and make them smile and make them feel like, yeah, like this world, even though it's kind of weird, it's still magical. Made sense to me to call it Octubre and to represent all those things that are important for me.
Fantastic.
Nice. It's got some good personal roots to it.
For sure.
Moving along, I mean, I think the answer is pretty obvious in this case, but late. Junk food.
Well, what can I say?
It is what's on the tin.
You get what you see, you know. We make all kinds of crazy food, though.
You do.
The thing was, back in the day when we first started, which was like in 2016. Yeah, I know I'm old, but there was never like really cool snack food to hold around in SL. Like I wanted a bag of like Doritos chips so bad that I needed it yesterday. So I was just like, I want to make food that you can hold and that you can like give to people and have parties with. So we've made like stuff for birthday parties. You know, you're having a backyard barbecue. I just wanted good down home country food because I'm a country girl. So that's where junk food was born.
That's
There's definitely
fantastic.
something to that because like people's snacking habits are very much, you know, one of the more observable, you know, quirks that people have, and being able to represent that in SL brings a little bit more personality.
Yeah, I think this is what I found, and this happens a lot in my main store. Like, I will just walk in and see people wearing or using some of our interactive items because I make like folding chairs you can hit people with, you know, chocolates you can toss at people. You know, it's about having fun and having that interaction with each other. And I feel like our store has really done that. And I feel like everybody on this panel, you know, like we bring a different, you know, level to SL and different experiences, and it's just really cool to see everything blending together and what you can bring to the plate, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
No pun intended. Or was it?
It was.
All right, and Captain Black Nest.
Well, the story of Black Nest, I have to give a shout out to my good friend William Wandering for Fourth Wall, because we started this store together back in 2020. Well, I used to have another store called Anxiety. I don't know if anyone remember that store. We used to do like a lot of backdrops and stuff. And then in 2020, I wanted to create this. Well, we wanted to create this store, and we worked together for 2 years. Then William wanted to do his own business, Fourth Wall, and I continue to do Black Nest alone. But the story of the name is just that he is very picky with everything, and I started to suggest a lot of names, and he was set on Black Nest because it's like furniture, minimalistic as well. And our idea back in time was that we wanted to make everything black. I still, up to this day, I offer a black option for everything. It doesn't matter what I make, it's gonna be black. So that's why Black Nest came out like this. And that's the story.
Fantastic. I love it.
I do too.
I love origin stories so much.
I also love that you've continued that tradition that, you know, kind of was part of your origin. That's really special.
I mean, yes, back in time we tried to keep the same style, but when he left, I don't know. I just do whatever I feel like. I actually like a lot of events that have themes, that have ways for me to create something and then apply the minimalistic side to it. That's why eclectic is in the logo, because I'm eclectic myself. I'm gonna pick everything from every style and then mash it together and make something new. So that's the reason.
I love that so much.
All right. So this next question, I want to actually kind of be more open about it. It's not going to go through everyone on the couch because basically I'm just curious to see a dialogue on this one because it's something that Consuelo and I certainly struggle with. And that is when you're working on like one of your projects, one of your creations, obviously, you know, you can continue to refine it, and there's never really a perfect. So where do you first get started on an idea, and then how do you actually recognize when it's good enough to push out there into the world? And this is just kind of open mic, you know, talk to each other. You all might have even different ideas on this, so, or many of the same. But so yeah.
Well, I start. I mean, I start with. I said that I like theme events because it gives me like a base to come from. But I usually like to make collections within my own store. So I start with something, and then in maybe 3 or 4 months later, I continue the same collection, right? So I keep building from one just single idea, and start expanding it. But I think my setup for quality is like, would I use this myself or not? If I'm just gonna put out something that I hate or that I don't see useful, I'm not gonna release it. So I think that's my quality, my top quality there.
So like something that you personally want to see in the world, sort of thing.
Yes. I'm very picky as well.
Yeah. And does that resonate with other folks?
Well, to be honest, I'll be the one saying it. What dictates whenever an item is done for me is the time of the deadline of the day. So if the deadline is at 9 a.m., that's when the item's done.
Oh god, that is so real.
I think we all can relate to that one.
The clock, slave to the clock.
Yeah.
Oh.
In all honesty, obviously every process and creation begins with an idea, if the event has a theme or not. I will say this, sadly, most of us don't really release unique stuff for our store alone. We always release it for an event. So we are always like not pressured, but constrained by the fact that we're creating something to a deadline, to an idea, to a shape already defined either by the theme or this or that. I'm not saying that themes are bad. I love events with themes, but I think that whatever decides the process of this is done is the event. We start with an idea, and as long as the textures look good, the item's working fine, there's no glaring issues with the mesh, let's go set up. Whenever you hit that sell button and it's working, that's the item finished.
I don't know. I speak as somebody who makes mistakes and has to constantly go back and be like, hey, here's a redelivery. Sorry I messed this up for you for the umpteenth time. Because I actually make new items just about every single weekend for my weekend sales. It might not be the biggest thing, but I really try to do that for either the Saturday sale or custom 9 weekend. But there's not just me. I also have a meshing partner, and he's been the co-owner of the store since 2016, Radio Mode. Shout out, buddy. He and I, we take turns. We do the creative process, but it's hard for me to do a theme sometimes because, like, say the theme is Gothic. What am I supposed to do for Gothic food? Like, here's a black sausage, it's harder for me with my, my niche. But I have mad respect for people who can do that and like actually like bring to a table, like say the event gives you an inspiration board, you're bringing that to the table. I can't do that, so I really have admiration for people that can do that and stick to the theme. I myself am not very great at it, but I do try. So I can see both sides. And also, like, I have a hard time with something not being like perfect. The mesh itself is like, I if I did that, I would never release anything. So I can see both sides of it for you guys having the same problems. So, but
yeah, I think it's definitely go ahead.
In my case, it was a little bit different because I was always, I think this is a common, I'm not gonna call it mistake, but it's something that happens a lot in Second Life, that when you are starting with a brand, you just want to be everywhere because you think that's how you will gain some visibility. And that was killing my creative process because I'm the kind of person that I can't just do something or I can't just follow a theme. I need to feel that theme. I need to be like, yeah, this is where I want my energy and creativity to be. And I was struggling really, really bad because not every theme was suiting my brand. So I ended up having a lot of things on my store that were looking unconnected. That's why sometimes from time to time I delete every single item in my store and I start over.
Oh my God.
So grab it while you can, people. You heard it here.
Yes, like from people that has been following me in the past 5 years, they know that from 6-7 months in a row, I start deleting items and they are never coming back because I learn new things. I start new paths. I am no longer the person I was 6 months ago. And I want the items I'm releasing to reflect who I am and my energy at that moment. So that's why I'm constantly deleting items, and that's why I would like to say that my store is a limited edition
Mm.
collection all the time. Like you
mhm.
get the things, and you know that in a couple of months you won't get them
That's
anymore.
fair. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, and I can agree with pretty much everybody on their process of how, you know, they start to 9 a.m. is when it's due. And I've been the one that's been late right up to the last second, and I've been the one that's been the first one ready to go. It's just dependent on, you know, what exactly is going on and how I'm feeling about something, and kind of what Poe was saying in regards to, you know, feeling a certain event and trying not to be too much into everything all at once. For me, I definitely have recently been picking and choosing on how I'm feeling regarding certain events, and if that's something that I feel is like it's right for me to actually participate, whether it's a certain inspiration or whether it's just an overall like event. Is that something that I'm currently wanting to put my toes in to work on, or am I gonna essentially dread working on something for it? And so it's like, if I'm not feeling that certain event or that certain item, I'm not gonna want to put my energy into it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. In regards to kind of all of that, and kind of a follow up to the idea of not always feeling a vibe on something, as well as the pressure of the clock. You know, how do you maintain that momentum, like week after week, especially, you know, constantly chasing deadlines basically set by other people in many cases when there's events in play? How do you avoid burnout and like, you know, basically writer's block but for mesh?
I would definitely say pacing yourself. Not everybody has multiple people who can work on a single item or collection, and you know, a lot of us are just sole creators that are doing everything.
Yeah.
And having that time to, you know, basically schedule out whether you're doing week to week, month to month, or if you're just in events every so often and focus on your main store. It's just, if you're not properly scheduling yourself, I feel, then you're gonna hit a wall real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I schedule everything as well. Like I always have the same events like monthly, so I schedule myself like weeks ahead, just to know, because I do everything myself alone. So I leave time to get an idea, I leave time to mesh, I leave time to map everything, I have time to texture, to script. But I think the secret, like she said, is to have a schedule and to stick to it, because I hate being late. It's like you lose the most important part of the event. Is the opening, is where everyone goes at the same time. So if you're not there, you miss the coverage, you miss everything. It's just pointless. I mean, for me personally, I hate. I'm a control freak myself, so I need to have everything under control, everything schedule, everything that I know that is happening needs to happen. So that's how I do it.
That makes
In
sense.
my case, I'm more like relaxed. I don't follow schedules, never. That's why I don't do a lot of events monthly. I took one or two. Maybe sometimes there are months that I'm not even at any event, and that's because I prefer to put my focus on my main store. That is basically all mine, and where I can just be. I don't need to follow deadlines, themes, or whatever. But I would say that I'm meshing every day. Most of the things I mesh maybe won't see the daylight, because yeah, sometimes I'm like, I'm not feeling this. But I think it's important when you get to practice and learn new things. And in my case, since I'm also a teacher, I'm meshing every single day, whatever I want it or not, or whatever I feel it or not. So between that and my real life work, like I work for a video games company doing mesh. So most of the time, sometimes my project doesn't get approved, and I can use them for Second Life, or I can bring them here and give them a new life, or give them the energy I want them to have. So in my case, it's a little bit easier because I have like 1,000 folders of mesh I never release anywhere, and I can always give them a new life. But I guess that it's because I understand how chaotic my brain works, and I understand that in this sort of chaos is where I feel the most creative. I feel that sometimes when you are hyper creative, you can't have a lot of order because that will limitate your creativity. You need to let it flow, and it's okay to accept that sometimes you are not going to feel creative. Sometimes you will sit down and watch at the screen and be like, "Fuck, this is not working." Oops. And it's okay. Like, it's okay to understand that when you are blocked, if you keep pushing yourself, you will just get more blocked. You need to breathe and be like, well, whatever. Let's go to watch Gossip Girl, drink wine, and let's come back tomorrow. Because it's okay. You are human. It's okay to not have creativity that day.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to answer, but did Captain or Late have anything to add there, or want to shift topics?
I guess I can add my 2 cents to it. Burnout is a sensitive thing, obviously. I personally, working on Krescendo, I don't think I've ever hit the burnout phase. Like, I cannot create this or that. That has to do with one specific thing, is that we have an idea. I think that the hardest part is creating the idea, having the idea to make something new. Obviously, I think that's probably the thing that is hardest to overcome. But to be quite honest, we really enjoy the process of creating something, from making a sketch or writing something down, and then see that sketch becoming something in Second Life. The transformation is always rewarding. So yeah, I don't think I have ever hit a burnout point yet, but it's also important to take breaks, to take steps back, to maybe bounce your idea with somebody else. Try and take regular breaks. Go see the world outside. Don't get locked into something, and
Right.
that helps me a lot.
All right.
I wasn't sure if I should answer this. The reason is last year I had a very hard time. There's some people that might know about this, but I was in a car accident last year. We got hit by a drunk driver.
Oh no.
And I got injured from that. And then after that, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer.
Oh no.
So I had never experienced burnout before last year, but between like therapy for my back and going for my cancer treatments and then having to get surgery, was the first time I'd ever really experienced burnout, because I was just so tired all the time. And like, we were having to go back and forth so much. So it's just like, I remember sitting down at my computer one day and just crying, and I'd never done that before. So it was just like, I was looking at the screen, and something that would usually take me probably like an hour to do was taking me like 4, 5, 6 hours. And I just remember telling radio at the time, I was like, I have got to take a break. I just cannot physically do this right now. So that was one of the more challenging things I've had to face as like a creator in SL, because I could not physically get my mind or wrap around deadlines or anything like that. All I wanted to do was sleep before I got my surgery. But it's like they said, like, you have to give yourself breaks. I don't think I was doing that, because I can work through this. I can always work through, crazy deadlines. But I just couldn't. That was the first time I'd never been able to do that, and it was the first time I really gave myself a break. So yeah, it was pretty challenging.
Wow. I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I kind of kept it under wraps because I didn't really want people to know until I got better. So I'm glad, to be healthy now. But it was definitely a challenge. Yeah. No bueno.
Well, thank you for being so open with us.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of want to use that to turn a message to the audience, so to speak, which is, especially as consumers, it's important to always view creators with grace. If there's a missed deadline or if there's mistakes in a creation or what have you, there's real people behind creations, and it's easy to lose track of that at times. So, yeah. Okay, so let's shift over topics. There's actually been a number of things that I've certainly been seeing recently changing in SL. We've had PBR, we've had kind of some new stuff coming up in scripting. We've got stuff with mobile viewer, etc. Are there, and of course, there's been new creator trends and things like that as well, and things people have been experimenting with. Is there any stuff that's been up and coming in SL that y'all are really excited about, that you will either want to experience that someone else is going to create, or that you're looking forward to using more in your own creations or feeling out, or that you have concerns about, and kind of what are those various things? Again, just kind of open question, whoever wants to bite on that and has a thought first.
Well, I'll say the PBR in Second Life was a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the very beginning, we were apprehensive, all of us, right? Like, nobody likes change. And we were like, oh my God, this is double the time, we double the work, now we have to do this twice. But then after you get to it, and you know how it works and how to make it look good, I think I still do the legacy textures, because a lot of people don't have PBR. I don't know why, but they don't. So, but I always, it's actually true that it's double the amount of work, because we have to work on the legacy textures and then on the PBRs as well. But I think I don't mind, because stuff looks much better in PBR than in legacy textures anyways. So I think that changes. Yeah, it does. Like leather or wood, it looks great.
Yeah, you can really see like some of the graininess in there and some of the actual like texturing. It makes me want to touch stuff. Is what I would say.
You bring this to life, so that's why I like it. Even more so in furniture or decor furniture.
And clothing
or
too. Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen PBR in clothing yet. Well, I haven't changed outfit in 6 months.
Oh, that explains the smell.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh no.
That was
Too much smell.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Exactly.
Oopsie.
I actually need to make more showers for my stores. Thank you.
No, I don't know.
I do need a lot more showers and bathrooms in Second Life.
Writes down a note.
A new idea, right?
Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. Don't apologize.
I don't even have shoes on, so we can maybe. That's why.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. You don't.
Because
No.
it's to connect with the energy, you can give a new age explanation and people will take it.
Yeah.
You can say
That's
that, it's to connect with my inner self, to feel the environment.
The visual environment.
We will all
Artie
say
says-
yeah.
Artie's like, face masks, anyone? Okay. I'll take one.
What about anyone else? PBR, other features, anything you're keeping an eye on the horizon?
I would really like to see Marketplace be updated to make it easier to list stuff on there.
That part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
think we
God,
all
I hate
agree
it.
to that.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
If they could just update it all at once and not in
Yes.
pieces.
Oh.
Okay,
the
now
different
this sounds
fonts are throwing
interesting.
me off.
talk through what are the grievances with the marketplace, because this sounds like it's got some history, and I don't really use it as a creator. So, what's going on with the marketplace?
Where do you want me to start?
Anywhere, whatever inspired that reaction.
Okay, number one, it's really hard to list everything on Marketplace when you have it up there, and you have to do like me. I have a share thing, so I have to go in and like share it all the time. I can't just do a mass thing where you like click a button and this is it and it's listed and it's done. You have to go in, you have to fix the permissions, you have to fix the pricing, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to get everything up there, you have to list each thing at once, you have to do it all of that, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just like it's very time consuming for me when I would rather be creating things and not like just listing because I have. Oh, I don't even know how many items I have, like 4,000 at this point, and like trying to list all that it's backbreaking work, and it's a lot to do. So, and it's not a very fluid process. I'm sure the rest of the panel would be able to explain it probably better than me, but it's frustrating.
No, it definitely is, and like I used it a lot more at like the height of gachas than I do now.
Yeah.
Because thinking about it back then, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that again. I don't want to have to go through all of that again, but I try my hardest. But then that burns me out on the Marketplace, and I'm like, no.
Oh,
no,
or
maybe once a week.
And then if they leave you a bad review because they didn't read what it does, and then they're like, oh, I hate that, because it's like I've poured myself into this, and like you didn't read the thing, you don't know what's going on. I'm like, ugh, I talk to me, I'll try to fix it for you. But they always leave like a 1-star review on something that you're like, it's supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unfortunately.
Not gonna lie, I don't have a Marketplace.
You're smart.
Oh no.
I'm too lazy. I'm like, I tried. I have like 5 items, and I was like, nah, let's not do it. They will have to come and shop by the store. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I'm too lazy to do this, and I know my limitations.
No, I feel you on that. As someone who's like primarily a consumer, like I will go to the Marketplace first, hopeful, but there's usually not like the newest things there, and I know better. I've been in Second Life long enough to know that I need to go to the main store for the good stuff.
It's actually kind of nice to know why that is, because a lot of times I've wondered, like, hey, I know this item is out there, but I was always curious, like, what I didn't know that it was such a cumbersome process. So I appreciate the illumination there. I don't want to dwell too far on this, but I'd have to ask, if you could wave a magic wand, what would kind of be your preferred removal of friction to getting things on in the Marketplace? Is that like allowing a vendor that you've configured in world to just somehow auto post the same thing, or like what would be your idyllic way to list things on the website?
I think having S saved. Oh, go ahead, please.
Sorry. I was just gonna say that I think ideally, I think we wouldn't need to set up in world. What we would need is Second Life to create a system in which you set up an item on Marketplace, and that item would link up to a button in world, and that's it. And then that I think personally that would be the best solution. You set up only online, and then there's a link button in Second Life where you click, and then that's it. You have the item already set up, everything is linked up, and it should be set. And less fields on the related items, or an option to automatically add related items. Maybe slight less constrictions when it comes to picture sizing and formats. We are evolving. We need more than 1024 by 1024. So on and so forth. A few things like that I think would be very helpful. If I had a magic wand, that's what I would do. One setup item is set up in world.
I wouldn't do anything. I find listing Marketplace stuff very soothing, very repetitive. I actually have my Marketplace is up to date. Every month after I'm done with the events, I keep 1 or 2 days to put the stuff from the month before up in the Marketplace. So if you go to my Marketplace right now, it's up to date. It's up for the last month. I have close to 2,000 items in the Marketplace.
I feel like I should get down and be like, I'm not worthy. Like, that is mad. That is crazy.
Actually, most of the income comes from the Marketplace, because people like you said,
Yes.
lazy, and they don't want to go to the main store,
Yeah.
not even to demo something. So
Mhm.
I think having a marketplace that is up to date gives you a lot of revenue. But that's me. Yes, it's up to date,
Yeah.
Misra. Yes.
That is awesome.
Very good. Very good.
I admire this man because I could never. Like,
Same.
I can only
See.
feel admiration.
That is absolutely impressive. And now I know I can completely shop Black Nest on the marketplace.
Oh dear. I appreciate that. Okay. So, let's see. I wanted to ask, because it sounds like y'all have very different kind of perspectives and the way that you engage with creation and how you got into it and whatnot. If someone else were wanting to get into being like a creator within Second Life, if you now, with all of your foresight from experience, had any advice to give to them besides don't do it, what would that be?
I
I
always
can
tell-
start up
Oh,
with
sorry.
that if you want.
Yes, go ahead.
Since we're being shy, I'll jump in. Don't be afraid to ask. That I think that's the thing, right? Don't be afraid to ask. There's this stigma and this idea that everyone is a competitor of each other, and that and yes, it is true. A lot of people might not want to answer or might not want to help you, but starting out as a creator, it can be very overwhelming. At least I know it was for me. It was for Kestrel. But we had friends. We had a team at the time. Quite honestly, we had I started off as a MadPea designer. I learned a lot there. I wasn't afraid to ask. I wasn't afraid to ask questions, and people were super nice to me and they helped me. I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but there's groups, there's support groups, there's so many things, so much information nowadays at your disposal. YouTube, really, just do a quick YouTube search and you'll have the process from start to end on something. There's Udemy courses. There's so much things that you can pick up and go from there. Quite honestly, ask, do the research, but most of all, don't do it because it's
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
definitely agree. And just be willing to learn something new. And if somebody is willing to give you that helping hand, to accept it. There are people who do teach, like Poe does, and honestly, if you can afford it, I'm not trying to. She's got to make a living, right?
She's brilliant at it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but her courses are very well to do, and if you're able to take that, it definitely helps. But yes, there are a lot of free resources online. Sometimes it is hard for it to relate into Second Life, but finding that bridge and willing to do the research and to learn is gonna get you past that initial slump of getting your foot in the door. I know for me, I've probably spent the last 6 months or so just watching every tutorial I could find and learning from other people who just post random work in progress and stuff like that, to learn the little tips and tricks that they may have for creating something.
Something I always tell to all my students, especially when they ask me how to get into Second Life, it's take it easy. First of all, don't try to be in every single event. Don't try to be in every single weekend sale. Take the time to build a loyal customer base, because that people that is going to be, it's going to be your customers. They are not going to follow you because you are at that event or at a weekend sale. They will follow you because of you. At least that's what happens with my brand. I can afford to not be at events or weekend sales because I have this solid customer base, and I know that they will follow me no matter what I do. That's one of the biggest tips I always tell to anyone who asks me. And the other one is that I understand that, for example, you can go into YouTube and you might find 1,000 different videos, but that doesn't mean that every video is going to teach you how to create video game compatible assets or props or items, especially for Second Life. So always try to ask, like, if you feel that maybe you can't, just look around, see which designers are probably most social, and just watch and learn. For example, in my Facebook profile, I share a lot of videos, tutorials, guides. I'm always trying to not gatekeep anything, because I feel that designers are one of the biggest parts that keeps this community alive. So I am always interested in seeing new talents, in seeing new people coming and bringing new things to Second Life, because ultimately they raise the bar. They make us, for example, the ones that has been here for a while, not settle and have to do better. They keep us alive and in movement. So at least in my case, whoever wants to ask me anything, I'm always an open book. I don't have any problem with sharing experiences or pointing at guides that I know that works. Like, yeah, I know I teach and I charge for my classes because I have to live somewhere. Sadly, food is not free yet. I wish, but it's not. But I'm not like, it's not like if you come to ask me for something, I'm gonna be like, no, pay. No, I will be like, okay, I will send you the tutorials that I watched back in the day that worked for me, and if you still have questions, we can try to figure it out. Don't worry. Like in my case, I'm an open book, so if you want to ask me anything, why not?
Yeah.
I do agree with the feeling that sometimes creators try to gatekeep stuff because it makes them feel like, okay, I do this, someone else doesn't, so they will come to my store. There's some sort of competition there, but I personally don't think it is, because, well, I started my store with William, and he's still a very good friend of mine, and he does his own store, and I do mine, and I do collabs with him. Sometimes I mesh for him, his textures, but like, we're friends too, like, there's no need for this kind of bad blood or competition that people have around here in Second Life.
Yeah, I think that's kind of worth emphasizing is creations are there's the like actual rote technique in creating them, but the actual creations are more personal than that. It's your the energy that you put into things and your own creativity as a creator, and no two creators are going to bring that same energy.
Like your brand, it's ultimately your identity. We can do the same things, but that doesn't mean that your items are going to look like mine. We can do the same thing, and we can have a healthy competition without that getting toxic. But I feel that if you want to be the best at what you do, the only competition you need to have is with yourself. With your old self. You need to do better. Not because you need to show anyone else that you can do better, because you need to do better. And that needs to show in your items. So in my case, I know that I'm not the only person doing magical auras. I know I'm not the only person doing interactive objects, and that's fine. Like, because I know that it doesn't matter if someone else is doing the same as me. I am doing it with my own style, and that's why people buy from my store. If they wanted an aura, they can open marketplace and they can outsource. They can create their own, like Firestorm has the option to create your own particles. But they shop it because of me, because they like what I do in the way I do it. So ultimately, I think people who sees this as a competition and they gatekeep and they don't want to support others, it's because they feel insecure. And that says a lot about them, but not about you.
Also, they can start small. Get a little plot on mainland. Put your stuff on marketplace first. Just get your products out there, get that audience feel, and meet new people. And it's just like anybody that has a question for me, I will answer. I've helped people learn how to script. I've helped people learn how to mesh. I've helped people learn how to texture. Been doing this for a long time. I always like to see, because I'm very much of the spirit, like, competition keeps it fresh, and it's just like, oh, that's really cool. They made something like that. I want to do something that's just on par with that too. And it's just like I like seeing different people's different styles, like Poe said. It's like very much like it keeps it fresh, and
Yeah.
keeps me on my toes. I'm like, oh right, that's awesome. I love seeing new stores. I like seeing with my friends or people I know start a new store. Like I try to pump them up. I'll share their stuff on Facebook. It's very much like I feel like there are some creators that do gatekeep. Let's not lie, but there's a lot of us out there that are very open and honest and want to see other people rise up. Because again, we make SL what it is, all of us, not just the customers, not just the store creators, but just people being on here and being together. So it's pretty cool to see all the different aspects and viewpoints.
Yeah, I agree, and Consuelo and I's limited experience with creators, we largely find that everyone is super open about stuff and is enthusiastic about their creations and talking about them. So, as you all have been, which it's fantastic. It's kind of a unique community here in SL. I just to keep things moving along, I want to turn a little bit of a interesting question, and I want to pose this specifically to Captain at first, Mr. 2,000 item catalog from start to finish with an unbroken chain of creations going back to the inception of the store, which
That's
is
true. That's correct.
which is two things. First of all, what is this, like one item of yours that you either are most proud of or enjoyed creating the most? Second follow-up, what is one of your creations that you look at and you just it just kind of is a embarrassment to you now, sort of thing, that you just wish didn't exist but you just tolerate? So floor is
Okay,
yours.
well, that's a hard one. Well, my most favorite item that I created was actually for MadPea, because, like I said, I like theme events, and I really love their hunts. Their hunts always have a theme, a story to tell. So one of my favorite items I created was a board like this game. I forgot the name. Phasmo. You know that game?
Phasmophobia?
Yeah, there you go. Phasmophobia. Well, I created a whole board with a story of myself, of a ghost that didn't exist in the game.
Okay.
But I took pictures. I went around. I created a whole fucking story there. So, and that's one of my favorite ones. It's not for sale right now because it was for the hunt, but I can show it. Artie knows it. And I think one of the ones that I hate the most is I don't have any currently, because when I hate something so much, like they said before, our own competitions is ourselves. So what I do is I go back to one of the items I hate the most, I remesh it, I retexture it, and then I put it for sale again. And that's why I don't have anything that I hate.
Interesting.
And if you have a link to your favorite one, I know you said it was a hunt item, right? If you have a link to it, I can drop it in the chat so people can see what it looks like.
Or end up in the description after the fact.
Or that, yeah. Because I figure it's not on your marketplace since it was a hunt item.
No, it was a... Yes, it was.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, I can pass it to you.
The item?
The item.
Oh. And we do have res rights tour. So if you pass it to tour...
Asking if it was the Echoes of Blackwood.
Exactly, that one. That one.
Does Artie have
That
it?
one.
Can Artie res it? Anyway.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yes, that one.
Artie can res it.
All
She's
right.
got rights.
I got you guys.
All right, very good. Okay, so is it Poe's turn?
Sure.
Thanks, Captain. Poe, are you there?
Yeah, well, it actually, the story has an end and everything, but I didn't. You have to figure it out yourself, like the game. You need to figure out what happened in the story and how it ended. That's it.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, the same double question to you, Poe.
For me? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Which question? Sorry.
Current favorite creation, and retroactively, what is one of your creations that you And when I say favorite, it can be either one that you really like or one that you just really enjoyed the process of creating or that you're super proud of. And as a follow-up, one of your creations that you just wish you had never created that you probably have already torn off the store.
I was gonna say
you
this is probably already deleted it.
But that you have a story about that you want to tell.
Basically, any offset from my previous collection, I absolutely hate them now, and I'm glad they are gone. Sorry, I am like, I don't have in-betweens, but right now, honestly, I'm super proud of this upcoming system I have been working on for the past year. It's called Soulskin, and basically, it's an ecosystem for auras. So let's say you are wearing this sparkly thing around me right now, and someone else that you care about, your partner, friend, girlfriend, daughter, whoever, is wearing that one. Those auras will read each other and they will interact. Like they will change the colors, they will create a connection depending.
Oh, I like this a lot.
That's good.
Depending on which vibe you want to give for that person. And at the same time, designers will be able to make the auras interact with their objects. Let's say you want a specific object to make people feel comfortable or whatever, then the auras will change when they read the script in that object. Same goes with sims. I have been testing it on my specific sim because, well, that's my guinea pig. I'm sorry for all the people who lives there, but that's what we do there. And basically, when you go into the beach, the aura will turn like this golden tone. When you go into the swamps, it's going to get a deep petrol green, and so on, so on. So basically, Soulskin is not just a project I have been loving or whatever. It's like my whole Second Life goal. When I came here, I wanted this to be in this way. I wanted to create something that made people feel like they can have something magical in their avatars. For example, right now, the aura I'm wearing shows that I'm chill, but if I change, I don't know, the tone of my voice, like right now that I start talking super fast, you can see that I go.
It did.
You can see that it gets a little bit more like that.
That's really cool.
And if I go a little bit more subtle, more chill, you can see that it also goes like.
Wow.
That is a whole
So
mood.
That is cool.
So this is basically the what is coming, and it's my, I would like to say, my opera magna. It's like I'm super proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Thanks.
Minx, I know you're in the process of a rebrand, so I'm curious where you would go with this question as well.
So, just like Poe, all of my older items that have been an embarrassment to me and what I've created have been yeeted out of my inventory altogether, and I never want to think of them again.
Okay, I won't press you for details.
So it's just like in the moment, I don't know why I thought I liked them, but looking back at them, I'm just like, that was a mistake. And I don't want to think about that ever again. But no, I'd say, like, for an item that I'm really proud of is actually an item that was released here for PlayXpo. It's a choker that I did. It was like my first mesh item release ever. And I'm just like really proud that I was able to take the time to not just learn how to do it, but put it together from start to finish, from inspiration to release. So
super cool. We'll definitely recommend checking out, of course, PlayXpo here, since you shouted it out. Folks who are watching, be sure to swing by, check out all the creations, check out the PlayXpo, play the games, etc. But enough plugs from our sponsor, or about our sponsor. Let's move to Krios.
Yeah, that's a hard question. I'm gonna say that I might have a different opinion from our friends on the couch here. Yes, some of my older creations are absolutely horrible things to look at. The mesh, the texture shading is horrible because I didn't know about smooth shading. The alpha glitching sometimes is just horrible. Some of the things are just not well done. That's basically what it is. But I'll be very honest, I absolutely love it. And I do not have it for sale. It's not available, not even on the marketplace. But my ever first item, for example, was from a YouTube tutorial that I followed. It was the most basic chair ever. And me and Kaz were so excited because it was the first item we actually made something. And quite honestly, I absolutely love it, even though it's horrible. It's like that beautiful, ugly pet you have that you love so much. I feel the same way. So I have a different relationship.
You embrace the growth of creativity.
Absolutely. Because if people go to Krescendo SL on Flickr and they see the pages, as you go backwards, you see a degradation on quality. And obviously the first item ever listed there is just like atrocious, and most people will see it that way, but I don't. I'm quite proud of it, even though it to today's standards is just not great. In fact, I'll be honest and I'll say it's horrible, but I'm proud of it. That was my starting point. Now on the flip side, as for a favorite item, I could list you probably a lot of them, but I think that everything that we've done most recently is something that I'm quite proud of. I will say the Shroomy bat set, for example, which is a big mushroom stem that has fairy lights around the pole and all that, has a cute little Shroomy plushie as well. I'm quite proud of that one. We put a lot of effort into making it and making sure that it worked fine, and I love it. It's one of the sets that I really love. I also know that any sets that include like a theme or within itself, a gamer room or a piano booth or a music booth or something along those lines, I always love, because we developed a little bit more than just a single item. We can't do that all the time, but I will definitely say that that's the sets that I tend to like the most.
Yeah. So you like similar to Black Nest, you lean into like collections, so to speak.
I wouldn't say that I'm restrained to that, because I'll do one item all the time. But whenever we have more freedom, whenever we have more freedom to work around, just instead of just one thing to make a cute set, I always feel better about it. For example, our release for PlayXpo, it's the whole debate of controller versus keyboard type of thing, and we leaned into it. So why not both? So I did both of them with matching colors and different sets of colors, and it was just brilliant, because I love the fact that it tells a story. It's two items. You look at it, it's a remote and a keyboard. Most people would be like, okay, random. But it tells the story of remote versus keyboard and the whole gaming debate, what's better, what's not. And I think that's important sometimes.
Yeah.
I love that.
And finally, Late.
Here, I got it ready. Here's a link.
All right.
This is the one. This is the regret.
This is regret.
The regret. Okay. I'm opening it and I'm going to paste it in the chat.
Late's regret. Margarita pool. There's no wrong way to use a margarita pool besides apparently this one.
That on the ad has come back to haunt me in so many ways. I don't know what I did wrong when I scripted this, but to this day, I will get people that are like, there is something wrong with this pool. It's not attaching right. I'm like, oh, okay, here's the updated version. Just don't look at it anymore, please. I've had so many people come to me about this freaking release And I don't know what I did wrong to this day. So, yeah.
Oh,
And I've
gosh.
tried updating it. I've tried rescripting it. I've tried everything. And it's just like, after that, I needed a margarita. Okay.
I bet.
And I think the one that I'm probably the most proud of is just because, like a lot of people on SL, I have a fur baby. It's these. My little
Okay.
corgi pops, because I have a corgi in real life, and it's cute. We made like a little fluffy butt on the back of it,
Oh, that
and
is
you can hold
cute.
them, or you
That
can
is
click and
cute.
get them. Yeah.
I like that they have all those different colors too.
Yeah, thank you. So
I love the
yeah,
packaging. That's so good.
Yes.
thank you. But yeah, it looks like my little dude in real life. So it just, it was like, I want to make these, and so
Oh, those are adorable.
thank you.
So Minx and Krios actually already answered this. I'm gonna start with Latte and then pull back to Poe and Captain. Late, what did you release here at PlayXpo?
Oh, I made like a gaming night table. Imagine it's back in the 90s. You're playing with your friends on a Saturday night, watching Saturday Night Nickelodeon, ready to get on the big orange couch. It's got 3D like Dorito chips, a Game Boy, like a PlayStation 2 games. Like it's so retro, and we really wanted to bring back like because me and Radio are a little bit older. We wanted to bring back that nostalgia factor, and so that was our item for this round. It was a lot of fun to make, a lot of fun to texture, so I hope it brings
Nice.
back memories for everybody else. It even has like a movie rental card, so
Do you all have your links to your releases? I can post them in the chat so people can see them. But like if you posted it up on Flickr.
yeah, I need to do that.
All good. All good.
It's been a little crazy because I'm sure Radio's not here right now. He's in London. He went to go see a concert, so
Oh, wow.
it's been a little crazy for me. I've been doing everything by myself.
Craziness.
Yay!
All right. So Poe, PlayXpo, Octubre.
For me, this was a challenge. Not gonna lie, because I was like, I don't want to do something very modern because basically it didn't follow the style of my store. And like 3 months ago, I finished creating all the materials I knew I was going to use for my collections from now on. And I was like, damn it, I don't have anything that can work in a video game. So I remember sitting in front of my computer with my tablet on my hands and starting to draw some ideas, being like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And eventually I was like, okay, slow down. Let's do an arcade set, but let's make it witchy. And
I love that already. I keep
and that's how
going.
it started. I started planning, like, I was like, okay, I want them to be interactive. So I was like, the typical claw machine that you saw in every arcade.
Yes.
How can I make it witchy? Okay, let's make it with demons. So people get a different demon every single time, and they have their own history, their own personality, their own lore. And I was like, yeah, this is the right way. And then I was like, okay, a fortune wheel, but let's make it cursed. So instead of being like, oh yeah, you are earning, I don't know, this price, it's like, no, you are cursed, or you saw a black cat. So I started like that, and that's how it went. I was like, okay, so this is something that I will be able to sell on my store after the event, and it will still match the vibe. It's not going to be like, yeah, you have all these witchy, super chill items all in wood, blah blah blah, and then you suddenly look and bang, you have something super modern. It flows with the style of my store, and honestly, it was. I did everything in one night. I didn't sleep that night, but I'm so proud. I'm really proud of this release. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite one, but I'm proud of it.
That's fantastic.
And I was looking at your Flickr, and there's not a picture of it there, right?
I don't have a Flickr anymore.
Oh, right. Okay. Do you have a prim feed or anything else?
Yeah, I don't think if I uploaded it, but let me check while you ask someone.
In the meantime, Captain.
Well, my release is based on cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. You're speaking my language.
Yeah, it's corpo aesthetic. Well, it's inspired on it, but it's not exactly a copy because this doesn't exist in the game, but I sort of imagine like what would happen if Black Nest existed in Cyberpunk and it was making something for corpo, like Akira, all that stuff. So that's how I came with the gift for the pass on my main release. It's not anywhere anyways, but I have a link, and it's just an executive collection inspired by Cyberpunk. Yes.
Yeah, I'm very much a sucker for cyberpunk themed things.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And well, she said because my store, like I said, is eclectic, but within my store I have different lines. I have a modern Gothic line where I made coffins and church and all the creepy stuff. I have a more like a kawaii line where I just make everything pink. I have an outdoor line as well where I just make everything for the patio and all that stuff. So this release in particular, it fits one of my vaporwave cyber punk kind of thing line, and that's why I went with it.
Excellent. Okay, so we have rolled a little bit over time, which is fine.
Which Artie said we could do, yes.
We said we could, but I also don't want to overstay our welcome. Just
I said if the designers were up to it.
I took the night off for this, so ask me questions.
See, this is where Tour and I get into, it's time to go, Consuela. And I'm like, no, it isn't.
Well, I did want to. I did want to kind of ask kind of one kind of last final closing plug, so to speak, which is obviously things that you guys have in the hopper that folks might be looking forward to. I know Poe hinted at something special with the aura, but might also have something else. So. Let's start with Minx on that. Anything up and coming in the hopper you're excited about
besides a whole new brand?
Besides a whole new brand, a whole new store.
Pretty much on the back end of that part, but
okay.
So Black Fair is coming up towards the middle end of this month, and kind of putting together a grungy type of face chain, so to speak. So yeah, it'll be coming with a bunch of metal options and bloody options and cosmetic features as well for face scratches and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Now, what about you, Late? You are always creating things. So, what have you got going? What's in the cooker?
Well, we will be in this year's Wizarding Fair again, so I plan on making some kind of crazy candy concoction.
Oh, nice.
That may or may not pay pranks on people. So that's my big project right now. Other than that, just doing weekend sales, all the updates, crazy stuff. It's the same.
Okay. Captain, back to you. What's coming together at Black Nest in the
well, I'm not sure if I can talk about it because
top secret.
What I really love, like I said, the MadPea hunts and all the themes, and I'm really excited about their next hunt, but I'm not sure if it's public yet, so I cannot say anything. But yeah, like I really enjoy the summery vibes that we're having now, and since I'm in Spain, this is hell. So I kind of, we're like, I don't know, constantly burning ourselves. So I kind of get myself to create something for winter, let's say. So for the rest of the summer, it's going to be just summery stuff.
Okay. Very good. Poe, I know you mentioned the Aura system. What else is out there?
For my store, I never know. I know I want to release new things. I don't know which thing. So it's not that I don't want to say it. It's just that I won't know until I decide, yeah, this is what I want to release. But in my case, I'm working on this video game kind of project I have for my sim. So yeah, since my story is there, you will probably will be able to play this video game I have been scripting and preparing for a while. So yeah,
Very
we can
nice.
say that.
Wait, can I ask a question? Can I ask a follow up to that? Is it the one? Is it the one you've been posting on Facebook about?
Yes, that's part of the project we are having. Lately, I started having this sort of cultural venue when we have opera singers, tango singers. We have been doing all kind of cultural stuff, and someone suggested, why don't we release a whole video game so people can come here, can enjoy some live music, and can solve some murder, can find clues, kind of spend a whole night there.
Oh no.
So our first, we can say beta test is Dinner and Murder. It's the typical Guess the Killer game, but with a couple twists, and I think it's going to be a great experience and adventure.
So I hope you noticed I filled out my Google form for that.
Yeah, I need to send your invitation.
Consuela's like, nudge, wink.
I thought that was so clever. I was like, I love new experiences in Second Life, and when I saw that come up on Facebook, on SL Facebook, I hit that Google form as fast as I could, and I pasted it to tour.
Honestly, I wanted, the idea was to bring something fresh to the Second Life community. In the future, I would like to collab with other designers. In this time, I didn't want to, because I didn't know if people was going to like the project. So I don't want to take time from other designers, making them make a price and whatever, and then the event be a disaster. Like, I don't want that. So I was like, okay, this time I will do everything on my own. I will, stress myself a little bit more, because why not? It's fun, right? Like, who needs to sleep? So I have been making custom buildings. I have been scripting. I have been creating the mesh. So yeah, it has been intense. But we have 100 people already wanted to be part of the situation. So it went a little bit out of hands. I was talking with the team, and it was like, guys, oopsie, this happened. Oopsie, we weren't ready for this. So here we are.
I think people are, broadly speaking, very hungry for more experiences. MadPea does a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do. But having more experiences in the grid, I think, is definitely, there's definitely a hunger for that, because they are so fun. They really are. They are. So.
And also, it's another way to meet other people, because in this specific one, you will be with other 40 people. So
Nice.
logically, you will meet them. You will spend 3 hours locked in a room with them. So I guess you will start to getting to know them, right? Like,
you'll make some new friends.
Exactly. The idea is to show that, because I constantly see people being like, no, but if you don't have money, if you don't show up, and that's like, sorry, excuse expression, bullshit. You can do a lot of things for free. You can do a lot of experiences. You can meet a lot of interesting people. You can go to listen to a live artist. You can go to the MadPea sim and play all the games. You can do a lot of things.
That's what came to mind for me. You could have just done 6 months of free MadPea. So,
or you can do like me, and you can do like me and go and camp in someone's store. Sorry, guys, I do that. I find a store I like, and I just randomly sit there for months.
Oh wow!
Sorry. Sorry. I'm guilty.
All right. So, last but not least, Krios, Krescendo. What's cooking? What's coming together?
Right. So, I can tell you that we have pretty much the next 2 months planned out in terms of items and item releases, ideas for what's coming. I will say that I'm particularly excited about one of my favorite times of the year for creation, which is the Halloween season. So spooky things, I always love making stuff for that. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, store wise, I think most of it, we don't have a big long time project. We release each thing for each event. We thought about it, we have it planned for the next like 2 months, and I'm quite excited about the things we're going to come up with for sure. Hopefully you guys will be too.
Nice. All right. Does anyone have any other things that they wanna share before we start bringing in things to a close here? Probably not, but just wanted to double check.
I just want to say that I'm really grateful to be here with all these amazing creators, people that I really follow along and I really admire. So to me, like this, if I sound nervous, it's because I'm surrounded with people I admire like a lot, and I'm like, you're like trying not to be a fangirl, but I am.
Trust me, I'm having that same difficulty, Poe. I've been sitting here trying not to like sound like a fangirl for sure.
I had my boyfriend sending me a text and being like, try to talk slower. You sound like if you are on drugs. And it was like,
oh my gosh.
I'm not on drugs. I'm excited.
Yeah, I have to agree. Especially as someone who's almost exclusively a consumer in SL, it's super great to be able to pull the veil back a little bit and I suppose humanize the brands themselves, because like mentioned earlier, there are people behind every stick, every box that was placed in this grid, and getting to talk to y'all and meet y'all. I am trying to be respectful of time, but honestly, I would love to just grill y'all and get all kinds of details about all kinds of things, especially even blurring into First Life inspirations, crossing over into Second Life and things like that. But that will have to wait for another time. Thank you all so much for being here, for creating, for adding to this wonderful weird grid that we all occupy, and thanks to MadPea for putting this on. And I am I'm sorry, Consuela, because this is usually your spot where you thank people, but
you're on a roll. Go for it.
I was gushing, so yeah.
No, the only thing I would have added to that is that, I know you were commenting on how you would want to go a little deeper and grill the designers a little bit more. And I felt that was a segue into a project that we're working on, that we're going to have a segment. So if any of you here on the couch are interested in a more in-depth conversation about you, we have another segment that we're working on that's called Behind the Brand. And so we would do one-on-ones with designers to kind of get their story and share that with the grid. And that's a project that's been on our background and our back burner for a little while. But this to me tour honestly feels like the beginning of that project, with so many talented individuals from our Second Life on the couch. This is kind of like what we would do, but more like on a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
All right. Put that name down.
Wrote it down. So yeah, so I'm excited about that, because one of the things, as Tour said, as we are both largely consumers in Second Life, as we started doing 50 Linden Friday and jumping around and seeing all the stores, we just personally were very curious about the people behind the brands, and the story, and where did the name come from, and are we saying the name right, and all the inspirations and things like that. So that's definitely a project that we're going to bring to life, and I'm thankful for all of you for giving your time here today and kind of starting us on that path and making it happen. And thanking MadPea for inviting us, Artie, who reached out to us on behalf of MadPea to do this. I'm just honored that we would be considered to sit down with you all and ask you these questions and get to know a little bit more about you and your brand.
Yeah. And with that, Artie, any closing thoughts? Putting you on the spot.
Putting Artie on the spot now on purpose.
All right, let's do it. So I was not going to be speaking here, but here I go. Thank you, everybody, of course, for being a part of this, especially Consuela and Tour. I literally poked Consuela and I was like, hey, girl, I need to do this and I want you to do it because I'm not going to be interviewing people. She graciously agreed. So thank you. For everybody else, PlayXpo is here for another week. It ends on the 13th. Do get your shopping done. All of the wonderful creators that are on today's panel brought their best to the event, and you'll find it all around. We have one more event happening next week, and Tor and Consuela are going to go head to head, being contestants.
Artie, I told you I'm going to lose if that happens.
You
should put us in a box. Put us in a box together.
Okay, maybe we'll do teams.
Okay.
But we're going to be playing Celebrity Squares. We had a game earlier this year, and it was really popular.
I loved it.
Lunch Lady was on
That was
there.
hilarious, yes.
And we're going to do it again, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of your favorite designers on there. But thank you, everybody. This has been an amazing experience for me personally, and I'm very grateful for everybody who volunteered their time and their knowledge. And I hope y'all had a great time.
Thank you, Artie.
We'll see you in the next video.
All right, I'm going to take us out. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was so nice to meet everybody.
Yes, thank you.